Alright, welcome back to another episode of Zombie Mouth, where each week I make up a new topic about something about zombies. And this week I'm going to be talking about The Walking Dead, the TV show. A lot of people watch it, and this is my thought of the TV show itself. So, as you might not know, I do reviews right after the episode ends, and they're on my channel too. I don't want to go into topic or go into that. But anyways, so what do I think about the TV show? It's okay for what it is. The TV show has lots of layers of good and bad, but more or less for me, it's more or less all bad. Well, I do watch the TV show because it's somewhat good for me to just see what's going on, because a lot of my friends watch it, and because of the cliffhangers. So, let's get right into it, why I don't like the TV show all that much. So, let's start off with characters. Background characters, of course, because they're pretty much the ones that I like the most from the main characters, because we don't know much about the background characters. Like, I wouldn't say Daryl would be a background character, but more or less Axel, T-Dog, or any other character that died throughout the TV show. Lori was one of my more favored characters, but then she got annoying, then I wanted her dead, just like everybody else. So, what I mean by background characters, why I don't like the TV show because of it, it's because you know when they're going to die, or you know what's going to happen to them. Like, let's talk about Axel for a second. Axel was talking to Carol. We never seen Axel talk so much in the TV show. And then what happened? He got shot in the head. Like, what was that? He had a few extra lines. Then he got shot. Or the best example was T-Dog. T-Dog never said a word or never said a lot throughout the TV show. And then in season 3, he had pretty much an episode based on him. And then what happened? He got bit, he sacrificed himself, and then there you go. Or Merle. Merle had a few extra lines in a TV or on an episode. I keep on bringing up TV for some reason, but in the episode, and then he died. He was going after the governor, and that was a major plot. And then he died. The governor shot. Well, I think. Yeah, he got shot by the governor, but he was alive enough for him to come back as a zombie. So that's why I don't like the TV show for that reason, is because you know when characters are going to die or when they're not going to die. And that brings me to another point. The next point is that you know what's going to happen. If you did read the comics, there are some hints that you might know what's going to happen, like with the hunters, like I said, the hunters were going to be coming in, and then they did. Or how, it's really obvious, like, how the group breaks up at the end of a season, and then you're gonna be like, oh, what's going to happen? They're not going to get back together. But halfway through the season, oh, hey Rick, I magically stayed in this area and I found you. Just like Michonne or Andrea in like season 3. Yeah, they found Rick's group magically because they were gone for like a year too, and then they found Rick's group. I don't know how good that would be, but you know, it happened. And that's why you know it's going to happen. They're going to break up, they're going to find each other. Obviously, they're going to find each other because what else would the TV show be about than surviving, which it should be about. And I don't know. That's the reason why I don't like it all that much. And then we go off to a major thing that I should say throughout most of the show itself. Season 2 and 3 and 4 a little bit. Like, we get to stay in one area, one simple area. Season 2 was on the farm. They didn't do anything. Just look for Carol's daughter. And that was it. That was the whole season pretty much. In season 3, they found the prison, and then they pretty much did nothing until the governor showed up. And I don't know. They were cleaning up the prison. That was okay. They had zombies in it, and you know what was going on. And that's just what I mean. Like, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen next, and all this and that. All right, let's go on to the last thing I should talk about, which was what I think is the worst of The Walking Dead, or what I think is bad about The Walking Dead. It's the governor or Gareth. They were really well. They in the comics, Gareth wasn't that big of a villain, but it seemed like in the show that he was like a big major guy that would attack them. And then what I should say about the governor is that he's really not that uh, villainish in the show. Or what I should say, he's like he like manipulates his own followers, but you know, it just happens. That's the only thing that he can do. And then in the TV show, he doesn't kill anybody of Rick's group. Background characters. I don't care about background characters. I'm talking about major characters. Unless if you talk about Axel or a few others. And that's the big thing about the TV show. Or Herschel, I should say. Herschel was a really big character, but that's the only major character that the governor actually killed. And in the comics, I should just say this briefly. In the comics, the governor pretty much killed everyone in Rick's group that was in the prison, but like a few characters that left before the attack from the governor, and that was so cool in the comics to read that. In the show, what happened? The governor backs out of the fight, the very first fight, and then he mows down his own people. When I was watching that, I was like, what is going on? This doesn't make any sense at all. Then he just leaves for about a few months. He gets a new group, and what does he do? He goes right back to Rick's group, tries to take the prison over for some reason. He wants this prison, and or maybe he just wanted it because he's just showing Rick up and that he will kill Rick and take over this prison for self-pride. And you're just like, why is he coming back? What is he doing? Is there a reason for him to come back? No, there's not. There's no reason unless if it's a prison and it's going to be safe. But nope. He just pretty much everybody dies and he dies in the process. So, what was the big point about this? There was no point of the governor or Gareth. He was really. I was hoping and pushing this to my friends. Like, I hope Gareth will be like one of the major villains, but I think it was only in for like 10 episodes, and he's dead. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. They don't have any major villains anymore until they get to DC and find what is it, Negan. Negan is the next villain, and I hope he's going to be a really good one in the TV show. So, that's my rant for what is the worst, what I think is the worst about the TV show. What I think is really good is that the story keeps it constant. The story's on track and knows what it's doing most times. What I say about most times is that because of the CDC in season 1. Season 1 they brought up the CDC and it was really cool. It was really interesting what they were going to do with it. But in season 3 and the rest of them, they just totally ditch it. They don't care about the CDC and what he said and about France or anything about it. And I was just like, oh man, that would be really cool if they try to find somehow to get to France and get to the laboratory that was the last online. So that was a really cool thing that I thought. And that they pretty much bring up cool ways to kill zombies. I'm just keep on picturing Lori crashing and how obviously stupid it was. But anyways, from other stupid things about the TV show, it's what they have done with it and everything like that. I do think it's really fun, and that there's cliffhangers that make you keep on watching it. So, that was my thoughts about the TV show. It's a lot of bad things, but it's a lot of I still like the TV show itself. Just to wash down, just to turn off my brain, turn off it mostly, and be like, yeah, that was a cool episode. But anyways, like always, there we go. There's the subject of the day. Oh, there we go. And next week I'll probably be talking about the comics itself and why I think it's better than the TV show, or why it might be a little bit worse, but I'm going to say why it's probably going to be better than the TV show. This seems like a biased subject, but, it's my thoughts. I had to bring it out. I have to get it off my chest and everything like that. And there we go. So, see you next week. Bye-bye.